October 31st, 2022 was not the day law enforcement should have been releasing information about the long-awaited arrest of suspect in the deaths of Delphi teens Abby and Libby. That announcement should have come days earlier on October 26th, the day authorities actually made the arrest and put a man in jail. But no announcement was made that day. Nor did they announce it the next day, the day they should have been making it available to the public. The public has the right to know the department's activities, and a log listing from the day before when Alan was arrested was not available. By the time police finally acknowledged they had made an arrest, Alan had been in jail for 5 days. It's now been 4 months and 3 weeks. Alan sits in jail waiting for answers. First appearance was prior to the public's knowledge of his arrest. The judge sealed the case documents at the request of the prosecutor. This is not the way the American justice system is supposed to work.
Check out the fools. Chock full of nuts. Check out the fools. I said, check out the fools. They don't play by your rules, and they must be nuts to hang with us. Chock full of nuts.
Our top story at 11 tonight, Delphi Mayor Shane Evans is on to new horizons. Today he announced that he's stepping down as mayor to take on a new position within the city. I spoke with him tonight about what it has been like running the city. He's been mayor for more than 4 years, and he shares why he's excited for his new endeavor.
For me, it was an opportunity to give back to the community.
Delphi Mayor Shane Evans didn't realize that after completing his law degree back in 2015 that he'd later serve his community as a leader.
The people of this community are fantastic, and they want to help, and they just really love this community, and I saw that as my opportunity to give back as well.
Evans says throughout his time as mayor, the city has achieved a lot for the community.
We've been able to accomplish quite a bit in the last 4.5 years in the city of Delphi in terms of infrastructure projects, in terms of waterworks and improving our system and our production rates and our transmission rates.
But there's one thing he cherishes the most.
There are certain families that will come in every month when they're paying their water bill, and their kids will come up and say hello.
Connecting with the community is something he says will stick with him forever.
Just that interaction, even if it's just once a month, with people that you probably never would have got to see or talk to, those sorts of things make your heart flutter a little bit.
Evans will officially step down as mayor August 16th. He'll continue serving the community as the chief deputy prosecutor under Carroll County prosecutor Nicholas McLeland.
In high school, I actually got to intern at the prosecutor's office thinking I would become an attorney. And then I had the opportunity to work for Prosecutor McLeland when he was in private practice when I was straight out of law school.
It was a chance Evans says he couldn't pass up, and stepping down as mayor was a bittersweet decision.
I am torn because I sincerely love being the mayor of the city of Delphi. The people are fantastic. To have the responsibility that people come to you looking for help is one of the best parts about being mayor.
Mayor Evans says the Delphi City Council is expected to hold a meeting next week in order to appoint his successor. Of course, we'll have that update for you. In the meantime, he says he is excited to learn and serve his city in a different capacity with his new position, which he'll start August 17th.
What we're doing now is basically, I don't want to get into the details of the case, but we've got a lot of work to do up front on the case, and a lot of it is very, very time sensitive. So I've got all hands on deck pretty much out there at the center, but Steve, my investigator now, is directly involved with the case. He's going to be a witness. He's going to be an integral part of the case, and so I want to replace him with an investigator here in the office. Steve's salary right now is $52,524. I've asked for the same salary to replace an investigator in my office now. The reason I want that, I think that's important now, is that Shane and I have jumped from a 36-hour week to 40-plus hour week. We were working 36-plus hours anyways, but we're going to pull double duty working here and on this case as much as we can. And I think it's important that the county support us and give us that extra money. Right now, my hourly salary is $88 an hour. Shane's is less than that because he makes less than us, less than me. You're paying the public defender to represent this guy $100 an hour. Just let that sink in for a minute. It doesn't seem right to me that we're doing that, but it also doesn't seem right that just Shane and I are gonna have to work so many hours to handle this case and our own office. I just think the $5,000 extra for each of us is warranted.
Yeah, I don't think that up today.
I think, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, the sheriff came in today and spoke to the council. It was a public meeting, so I feel justified in saying this. He was saying, yeah, we need the money, but then the other statement he made was, depending on the outcome of this election, we're having a mass exodus from the county, from the sheriff's department. Now that's the comment that got made to the council. I was sitting there when it was made.
It was rigged from the start.
.35-year-old Sheldon Thomas walked out of a Brooklyn, New York courtroom free after almost 2 decades behind bars. Thomas was arrested back in 2004 for murder after an eyewitness pointed to a picture of a guy named Sheldon Thomas in a police lineup of photos. But the man in the image was actually a different person entirely, happened to have the same name. And as we step through the circles of absurdity here, that guy also had no link to the case. Nevertheless, prosecutors continued to focus on the Sheldon Thomas they had in custody, which eventually led to his wrongful conviction. Thomas talked to our Lilia Luciano just days after his release in his very first TV interview.
I waited for this my whole life.
Sheldon Thomas was 16 when police took down the door of his home and locked him up. Now, 19 years later, he's been effectively exonerated.
What's been hard about just being out and about? It's been so little time.
Just like what you said, being out and about, adjusting, being around people.
Thomas was convicted for second-degree murder in the December 2004 death of a 14-year-old boy in Brooklyn. Attorneys William Caston and Leslie Ressinger have worked with Thomas for more than a decade. They say the case should have never even made it to trial.
How much of his case was based on lies?
100%. From the police interaction to him, every party failed him in the system.
In a pretrial hearing, a detective lied, then admitted to lying on the stand, and the case still moved forward.
He is arrested based on a photo that is not his.
He refused to accept the fact that a mistake was made. The people involved in decision-making refused to accept the fact that a mistake was made. How can a jury reach a fair verdict? It was rigged from the start. It was rigged from the start.
The unit that reviewed his case after years of failed appeals concluded that Thomas was denied due process at every stage and found one of the detectives involved had been harassing Thomas after a prior arrest and lied about knowing him.
When I was sentenced, Del Judas said that I deserved to spend the rest of my life in prison. He was wrong. I didn't deserve what happened, and I forgive him. I know I've lost 20 years already, but ultimately I prevailed. I don't like losing, so I have to let go because I don't want that to be what defines me as a human, as a person. I want love to define me.
I grew up in a place where they told you what to chase, told you how to run the race. Every move was on the page, but I didn't like their way. Had to fight and misbehave.